Greetings, YouTube. I wanted to make this video today after it was requested to me based off of a couple of complaints regarding what is still a very significant pro player decision in Alliance Quest to make it for uncollected and Cavalier players much easier and much faster using Glory to upgrade your 4 and especially 5 and 6 star champions with Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst Fragments and Tier 5 Basic Catalyst Fragments. And for that matter, it's still very easy to get Tier 4 Basic. So, generally, when I talk about Tier 4 Basic Catalysts, when you think about it from a Glory perspective, even right now, it seems like it's probably pretty much a non-issue for some players because you can get these things pretty cheap. In fact, when it comes to Glory, you can get 2 right off the bat for 1,380. That ain't bad, right? But there is a disconnect right now, it seems, from what Kabam thinks a lot of in-game players need versus what they actually need. And I think the timing of this video is strangely appropriate due to the offer we'll talk about in correlation to this that also came into the game for uncollected and Cavalier players today. So, Tier 4 Basic are kind of like the thing that we just don't think about often, and Kabam doesn't talk about it much. They talk about Tier 4 class catalysts. They're starting to talk about Tier 5 class catalysts and Tier 5 basic. But the thing about Tier 4 class catalyst is that you can hoard them very easily. I've got 6 Greater Glory crystals hoarded. When I scroll down, I have as much as all the way down. All the way down. I'm still getting used to the new crystal order. It always feels like it's changing. I've got 36 Tier 4 class catalyst crystals, which is a lot, right? These are fully formed, of course. And then on top of that, if I scroll up to my Tier 4 class catalyst fragment crystals that I like to hoard as well, you'll see here near the top that I have 1,321. So, yes, it takes a good chunk of Tier 4 class catalysts to rank up champions. If I was going to say, want to finally rank up, and by finally I mean, it's been 3 days, my Warlock to rank 5, it would take 6 out of 15. So even with the Black ISO store designation that allows me to increase my inventory caps by 25%. It's still more than a third of my Tier 4 tech catalyst, but there's a pretty easy way for me to refresh those between the Tier 4 class catalyst crystals and, of course, the Tier 4 fully formed catalyst crystals. But Tier 4 basic, it also takes a ton. So if we go down to a 5-star, for example, and let's say I'm going to take up Domino to rank 4. It takes 6. And that is a good chunk. And so if you're hoarding 15, you've got, just like what we talked about with the Tier 4 class catalyst for rank 5ing a 5-star champion, you've got more than a third of your inventory wiped out for that one rank. But unlike Tier 4 class catalyst, there's no way to hoard Tier 4 basic unless you want to count, say, Alliance Quest map crystals, which do have a decent chunk of Tier 4 basic, or daily crystals. Now, this isn't to say Kabam hasn't tried to address this problem before, because they have, and to their credit, they've doubled the amount of Tier 4 basic you can get in terms of total milestones from the Tier 4 basic arena, and they've made it cheaper to get Glory, and they've upped the Tier 4 basic fragments for daily crystals. But even so, I think the thing that shocks me right now the most is when we talk about upgrading 6 stars, which takes a ton of gold, of course. Let's say I'm going to rank up this hood. Somehow, Kabam still requires, when you rank up 6 stars, to have Tier 4 basic. Because you don't need those for ranking up 5 stars to rank 5, but somehow you still need 7 of them, almost half of your inventory of 15, to take up a 6-star to rank 2. So again, you wipe out your stash really fast. I don't know why they require Tier 4 Basic with 6 stars. I was shocked the first time I saw that, because Tier 4 Basic were originally mainly used for 4 stars, and then up to rank 4, they're used as 5 stars. But once you don't have to use them for rank 5 stars, I just always figured that tier 5 basic catalyst would be the only currency for 6 stars. Now, maybe that's a good thing, but at the same time, you still need 3 tier 5 basic to take up a 6-star to rank 2. It's not like you get off scot-free with that. In fact, you have to use 1 fully formed, which is not easy to form, at least not right now, more than taking a 5-star to rank 5. So I think the tier 4 basic catalyst requirement for 6 stars really doesn't make any sense, and it's kind of BS. But it is what it is. It's how Kabam has designed the game. And when in Rome, you have to do as the Romans do and play by their rules. So you look at the offer today, and you can see that there is a substantial lack of what we need for tier 4 basic. It amazes me that Kabam is so out of touch in terms of this specific need of the community that they've taken off any tier 4 basic from the $40 bundle. And so you could actually theorize that you have plenty of tier 2 alphas and plenty of tier 4 class catalyst. You just need tier 4 basic, and yet they're somehow cycling them out of these top tier uncollected and Cavalier offers, which we've seen consistently, even though, as we just showed, you still need a good chunk of them to take your 6 stars to rank 2. I also want to point out the reason why this is being recorded today is because several summoners reached out to me with complaints that the top alliances of Alliance Quest, when it comes to rewards, no longer get tier 4 basic catalyst, and that was very concerning for them. And again, it's not something, I mean, I'm never going to be in a top 100, 200 alliance, even though I love my alliance and I don't plan on ever leaving. And so because of that, I kind of don't think about it. And sometimes when somebody says, Prof, you're really missing the boat on the whatever issue, sometimes I really am just missing the boat. I'm in a plane, and I should be in a boat. What a watered-down analogy that is. But regardless, what do you think some fixes to this are? I wish there was a way to hoard tier 4 basic catalysts like we could do tier 4 class, but because there is no 1 out of 6 RNG like the class, it's just going to be really tough to ever see a scenario. The best way to essentially hoard tier 4 basic, especially if you have your inventory maxed out, is to hoard map crystals, particularly map 5, map 6, and map 7 of Alliance Quest. But outside of that, there really isn't much besides those daily crystals to think about. And it is the case, I've had it, where my inventory for tier 4 basic will be more than maxed. I'll have a couple in my overflow, and I'll have 15 out of 15, and then I'll get a champion that I really, really want to rank up, and I blink, and I'm out of tier 4 basic completely. And it takes a while for me to get that stash back up, even with the glory store and the arena and the daily crystals, the map crystals, etc. So this is a concern for some people. Now, some people might be watching this and think, wow, I can't believe that you're actually talking about this. I don't think this is a big deal at all, because depending on your progression, you might never have this issue. But I think when you get to a certain point, especially when you're taking 6 stars up, or maybe you've got that 5 star, say you're like me, you finally landed that Warlock this week and you don't have rank up gems to take the place of rank up items, and so you want to take that champion as far as from rank 1 to rank 5 if you can, but you're going to run out of tier 4 basic before you can do that. So, it's something to think about, and I'm not saying I have all the answers in this video, but I think it's worth putting out there and having this discussion, because it is a problem going forward that Kabam seems to almost be cycling out, because maybe they just think that we don't need them anymore. But because you have put that requirement, especially to rank up 6 stars to rank 2, tier 4 basic are going to continue to be a must-have item in this game. They're not going away. In fact, if anything, they're just increasing in value. My goal was to keep this under 10 minutes, and we're at about 9 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this video now. Thanks for watching, and as always, thank you for supporting my Marvel Contest of Champions, when we're talking about crystals, my Marvel Casino of Champions YouTube channel.